What's up, everybody? Welcome back to some more Hail Caesar faction reviews here. So we're moving on century-wise here, late 9th through mid-11th centuries here, and we're taking a look at the Rus, so the foundation army here really for the Russians. So starting off with the Kievan Rus, of course, and then how all that developed. Again, we're just going to take a quick overview of the force and how that plays out here and how that will maybe stack up against some of the contemporary ones. So this one is, as you can clearly see, an infantry-based force. So 75% or more has to be the infantry, and then up to a quarter could be cavalry if you want, but you can also go 100% infantry if you want to go that way. Now, the Varangians, the Vikings really, right, of that, has to be at least a quarter of the infantry. So that does specify non-skirmisher infantry as is typical. But again, this is going to be largely Varangians if you want some of the more elite troops. Druzhina, you can have them either as infantry or cavalry, but not both. So pick one. And we'll talk about that as well, depending on how you want to construct the army and where they might be best used. Here, skirmishers can be 50% of the infantry per division, and then your typical division loadouts here. So let's jump in. It's not a super long list, but it does have quite a few units here and good range as well. So we start off with the heavy infantry Varangians, and again, reasons as to why you would want to make a lot of your infantry these guys. So you start with your standard heavy infantry profile, but you do get tough fighters built in. So again, anytime you have a sort of core component to your list or core unit in that sense, and then they have a special rule baked in, that's always pretty nice. Now, half of them can be given for just one more point, double-handed axes. So it affects the short range a little bit, but again, bumps the clash up to 8, which, you know, sure, why the hell not? We can get missile fire, short range stuff elsewhere, so that's pretty dang good. Now, we could pick one to make one Varangian unit, Druzhina. Again, just one, but it does add stubborn for 3 more points. So, you know, I feel like if you're going to go with the Druzhina, you might as well go all out and make them with not just Druzhina, but double, you know, that one unit's going to have the double-handed axes as well, or at least spending that extra point there to have the Druzhina plus the double-handed axes just to make them as punchy as possible. Now, extra to include berserkers in non-Druzhina units. That's going to be a super expensive one, 6 points, but it's going, interestingly, it's still going to give you stubborn. I'm wondering if they kind of made a typo there, because again, it seems like Druzhina gives a stubborn, but here we're going to put berserkers in with non-Druzhina units. So could be a typo, could not be. You could make some arguments as to why the berserkers could be stubborn, but interesting idea. But we do get wild fighters as part of that, so again, could be well worth it. And just having a whole bunch of berserker units could be kind of crazy and flavorful too. But again, that's where we start with heavy infantry. Pretty damn solid overall. The light infantry, still Varangians, but we get bows and javelins, fielded as small units and up to 3. So guess what? We should probably take all 3 of those. Gives us, again, a solid 2 for long range. But again, we're small units, so keep that in mind. But even then, we still get tough fighters. So if you do get in a scrap, obviously light infantry is not going to stand up very long, but having tough fighters is kind of neat there too. Then we get to polk medium infantry warbands with spears. So again, interesting things going on here. So 26 points. Again, we get the clash of 7, but we get wild fighters in here as well, and that medium infantry morale save. We could go with long spears for free, actually, which is always nice. And just to get that rule, does affect the short range ability just a little bit. And then really we could make take a discount and take them as levy for 3 points off as well. So maybe some levy spears, long spears, could be pretty interesting there. And again, end of the day, it's still just a medium infantry unit, if nothing else. Now, they do give us another light infantry option here with polk as bowmen, some more small units, no upper cap on this. So again, a lot of our long range is going to have to come from that. But hey, this list does a fair amount of long range. Just unfortunately, no unit gets a 3, but lots and lots of 2s, which is plenty fine. Skirmisher package, pretty basic stuff here, as we would come to expect from, you know, almost I think like 100 of these videos now. So again, we get our javelin unit and then the bow unit, 11 and 12 points respectively. So again, bows take some more long range there too. Then in the cavalry component here, so again, first that rounds off the infantry. So you got awesome heavy infantry and then a good mix of light and medium with some skirmishers too. So again, if nothing else, the infantry can do work all day long. But the cavalry, there's an argument to take maybe some of that and get up to that 25% because they do some cool things here. So just bog standard medium cavalry with spears and or javelins, 27 points a unit. Again, just basic, but sometimes basic is good enough given that the infantry is going to do a lot of the lifting for you here. We do get access to mercenary cavalry with bows and javelins as small units. Again, no upper cap on this except for the 25% overall. So pretty cool here. Again, another option to get some good long-range firepower, 21 points. And feigned flight is always cool as well. But again, not going to last long if they get stuck in combat. Mercenary horse archers, again, if you want specialists here. Now these guys will trade feigned flight for Parthian shot. But again, gives us another 2. And again, yes, small unit, but no other cap aside from the 25% thing overall. And then last but not least, the Druzhina heavy cavalry with lances. So this is super spicy if we don't take them as infantry above. So 1 unit, it gives us a awesome 9 on clash. Sustained, of course, is going to drop to 6. And then short range, obviously, they're not there to do missile work. But you get that wonderful 4-up save. Tough fighters built in, and stubborn, all for 37 points. So again, that it's tough to, depending on how you want to lean, more infantry or a little bit of cavalry, but that is a very spicy cavalry unit. 37 points could be well worth it, but it is only a 1 of, so if the enemy starts whittling them down with bow fire, obviously then it's going to be a little bit iffy and get them closer to shaken if combats don't go so well. But if you can get them into combat and get a charge off, and they haven't really taken any damage yet, that's going to do a lot of work there. Super punchy. And then finally, all rounded out with leadership 8 across the board, so our bog standard that we've seen from most lists here. No reason to have a 9 here, and really no reason to have a 7 either. So just a pretty fun list that, you get a little bit of variety. Again, doesn't appear super shooty, but depending on what you take, you have more than adequate missile fire, lots of small units, but also big blocks of infantry, and then even cavalry if you want to go that route. Certainly just on paper, I would say, by all means go with the 75-25 split, because the cavalry does give you some speed and some other options, some more missile troops, and really if you want to take the Druzhina as that super punchy cavalry unit, you get another potent weapon and gives the enemy that much more to think of. But let us know your thoughts on the Russ here and how you would play them, how you would kit them out, and if you have played, again, with them, what armies have you faced and how did that fare for you? And in reverse, if you've had to stare down the Russ list, how were they constructed and how did you deal with them? So hit us up in the comments there, guys. Like, subscribe. It certainly helps the channel. Also, check out the pinned comment if you want to support the channel. Pick up anything from Warlord there from our affiliate link, and that will be greatly appreciated. Thanks so much for watching, as always, and we'll see you in the next one.